Apocalypse Now, right? I've seen this, but like a long time ago. I think I was maybe in my 20s, maybe at university. Everyone was like, you should see this Apocalypse Now movie. And basically, in this one, yeah, load that up. So it talks about what the strange making of Apocalypse Now. What's really interesting in here is about the dead bodies. So there's kind of this urban legend that there were dead bodies used in the making of Apocalypse Now and all of this stuff. It turns out, while that's not really true, I think it was the bodies that were hanging in the forest people said were actually, real dead bodies. They weren't.
But they very nearly were.
They very nearly were. And so I thought this is definitely an urban legend. But it turns out that basically, where is it in this article? Scroll down on there. Zoom in a little. Pinch and zoom, Sam.
Pinch and zoom.
I got terrible eyesight even with my glasses.
Here we go. Here we go. Rumors have been flying around about dead bodies on set, but Fredrickson discounted them as ludicrous.
Yeah, but this Fredrickson dude, I don't remember who he is, but they had like a guy who was doing their props, the prop master or whatever. He had been sourcing dead bodies from like medical schools, and then it turns out that's what they thought, and some of them were, I think. And then it turns out he had actually just been grave robbing these dead bodies.
No, I think the guy he'd been guessing them from had been grave robbing them.
Oh yeah, sorry, there's the guy in the middle. It wasn't the actual prop master for Apocalypse Now.
Let's not throw the prop master in jail for this. No, this is I mean, I could not believe the shenanigans that went down in the making of this film. This was unbelievable. Like, it was just mad. There was parties every night. There was dead bodies. I mean, and here we go. We've got it here. You guys are nuts. Where did these come from? Sorry, here we go. Then he was taken to the prop store, located behind a tent where everyone ate dinner, and inside was a row of cadavers all laid out. You guys are nuts. Where did these come from? We've got to get rid of them immediately. No, they'll be very authentic. We'll have them upside down in the trees hanging, which they in the end used extras. But I think he was very, very set on doing.
It did, yeah. Where was this filmed? Wasn't it filmed in like Indonesia?
I think Cambodia, I want to say.
No, I think it was Indonesia.
Could be.
It doesn't matter. But was that like just cheaper than getting extras to like get dead bodies or something? I guess it must have been because that's how it was. But yeah, what you were saying about the parties and stuff, it seemed pretty crazy. And then side fact about this, Marlon Brando, who plays, what's the name of the bad guy, the colonel who is up the river or whatever that they go to find, Colonel Krutz or probably not Krauts, but whatever. And Marlon Brando shows up on the set and he's supposed to play this like lean, mean fighting machine colonel who's gone rogue. And it turns out he's just super obese.
Mega obese.
Mega
he was
obese.
So fat.
Did you? I think we had an extra fact about him later being super fat, right?
We did.
In a different role.
I've just found here it was filmed in the Philippines. There you go. So
sorry.
No, all good.
Close to Indonesia.
Close. Not far.
Not far.
But no, yeah, he turned up and he was completely out of shape.
Yeah.
Didn't know any of his lines. And at some point he decided to shave his head.
Yeah.
And so he just was a mess. And there's somewhere in here it says that at one point there was 900 people on set
waiting for him
while they read him the script.
It's crazy. The number of people who wait around on these big. Have you ever been in you strike me as one of these guys who would do the extra thing. Have you ever been an extra?
You bitch.
No. Like, I mean, you're interested in, music and showbiz and all this kind of stuff. And it's a good way to make a few bucks.
I was an extra once in year 4. I came out of a school and I had to wrestle with my friend.
Wait, year 4? You were young.
I was young. I was paid £20 for 3 hours of work.
How old were you?
What was that, year 4? I was 10?
Oh yeah, year 4.
Year 4.
7, 8, 9.
Not 4th year, year 4.
That's pretty solid.
Literally
20 quid.
the only extra work I've ever done.
I was an extra in Captain America.
No, you weren't.
I was. I'm not.
Shut the front door. You were not. No way.
I definitely was. There's what's that sound? Do you hear that knocking sound?
Oh, sorry, that was me. That was my foot. I got excited. You mentioned Captain America. I was like, woo!
Because there's construction going on next door, and I was a little bit worried that they'd disturb our pod. Anyway, in Captain America, and there's this scene, the war ends, spoiler alert. There's the Second World War, and all these people are celebrating in Trafalgar Square, and there's like these planes flying overhead, and I was a policeman. In fact, there were probably hundreds of me. I was. They shut off the whole of Trafalgar Square. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun, had just risen. It was in the summer. And they get us in groups, and they're like, yeah, celebrate. And then they'd move us to somewhere else. And they'd be like, okay, celebrate here. And they'd move us to somewhere else and celebrate here. And then they'd like digitally stitch it all together so it would look like Trafalgar Square was full. But dude, relating it back to this about the 900 people waiting for Brando to get his shit together. There were, it wasn't 900, but there were 200 extras minimum. I made 150 quid that day. So if like something goes wrong, the costs are just phenomenal.
Well, to close a road, like to close
Trafalgar Square.
Like to close a highway is one thing. Like to close Trafalgar Square is that's unbelievable. I've always wondered actually how they do those sorts of films. Like what was the one, the zombie one, 28 Days Later, when there's the famous walking along the bridge and there's just no one in London.
Yeah, I thought it was digitally done.
Was it?
Didn't they digitally? And they had to hand through like everything. I mean, now they can just use computers and they'll, I think even Photoshop does it. If you give it like 10 images with people, it'll work out where where there aren't supposed to be people or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so yeah, people wait. Marlon Brando, I think he was a bit of a dick.
A proper dick.
Yeah, because he got super uppity because everyone loved him in. It must have been The Godfather that really. He was big time anyway.
He did Streetcar Named Desire. He was a heartthrob.
Really?
Who did he play? Stanley something.
This was before he got enormous.
Before he was massive, muscly wise. Then he got really fat, really big.
And in Superman, he played Jor-El. Is it Jor-El, Superman's father? Doesn't matter. And he didn't learn his lines again. Mm. So people were like reading him his lines, and he was kind of just doing it on, they'd shout a line to him, he'd read it, and he was just like, listen, I'm Marlon Brando. I do what I want. It's like, dude.
Well, do you know who else does that? Who's surprisingly bad at speaking English? And that's, what's his name? I forgot his name. Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan
really?
is surprising. His English is surprisingly bad, and they literally stand there with cards with his lines on them.
Wow.
And they like drop the cards and like saying, "This is your next line," and like sound it out for him.
Why is he so famous then?
Oh, because he's an absolute amazing
martial artist.
Well, he's a martial artist. He's also an opera singer. Did you know that? Not just opera. He studied at an opera school.
No, bring it. YouTube.
Yeah, no. I'm serious. He sang. Here you go. I will YouTube it. He sang. The songs for Mulan in Chinese.
What?
Yeah, you know this.
Like the Chinese version of Mulan.
Here we go. This is going to blow your mind.
Dude, Jackie Chan. Don't play it for too long because I don't want to get any copyright claims.
No.
But just give me a few seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what does that mean?
There is a problem with YouTube.
Oh God.
No, YouTube, we're lying. There's no problem.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Here we go. So
Jackie Chan sings opera.
Singing. Here we go. He's got like 8 platinum albums.
That's insane.
Here we go. Let's go. A Whole New World.
Oh no, this is awesome. It's only got 10,000 views.
What's
up, Jackie? Skip ahead.
We'll skip it.
Okay, stop it. I was expecting more like, but no, this is good. This is more singing rather than. Exactly.
No. He went to an opera school, which was joined with a martial arts school, and
of course.
Yeah. And no, he's a massive recording artist in China, like huge. He's got platinum albums all over the place in China.
Shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, you added something to the notes. Go back to the notes page.
Yes, I did.
What's this with Richard Attenborough wanting to cast Fat Marlon Brando as Gandhi?
Yes. So
Marlon Brando's. Oh, dude, and also, hang on, tell your story. Then I want to talk about Ben Kingsley.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So basically, I'm sure most people know that Ben Kingsley got. What was it? Did he win an Oscar for playing Gandhi?
Yeah, he did. It was like his most famous role.
Most famous role. He was incredible. However, there were a few famous actors that were considered for the role. One of them was Fat Marlon Brando, straight out of Apocalypse Now.
Wait, who's that on the right? Isn't that Richard Attenborough?
That's Marlon Brando.
kind of looks like Richard Attenborough.
No, it looks like Richard Attenborough because he's wearing a white shirt, his typical famous look from Jurassic Park.
That's true. He does look like the guy from. He looks more like the guy from Jurassic Park rather than Richard Attenborough.
He does a bit. All right, here we go. So hang on, I just want to say, here you go. So the archives show a who's who of acting legends, all white, considered for the for the role, including Alec Guinness, Al Pacino, Albert Finley, and Dustin Hoffman.
Which is weird. Like, Marlon Brando was also considered. I kind of see him in my mind as that previous generation of actors before these chaps. But I guess that's not really true.
I suppose. Well,
when did he die?
I'm actually not sure how much older he was than those actors. But
carry on.
Yeah. No, but anyway. So basically, he was quite seriously considered not as, like, to play skinny little tiny Gandhi. But looking like this, like he'd come straight out of Apocalypse Now.
Well, straight out of Apocalypse Now, where he was supposed to be playing a muscular guy.
Exactly.
Sorry, I meant to say before. They wanted to film him like he was like, you got to film me in the shadows.
In the shadow, I'm going to wear baggy clothes, and you're going to film my shoulders and upwards. Yeah,
my face only. Zoom in.
I'm going to hit them with some real emotion. But no,
dude, Marlon Brando was good looking back in the day, though.
Oh no, he was a heartthrob. But no, and yeah. So
see, that's Richard Attenborough.
That's Richard Attenborough, who
he does look like him a little bit in that photo.
Of course, is an Attenborough. The Attenboroughs, God, they were some successful pair of brothers, weren't they?
Still are. David Attenborough's still alive.
I love that man.
He's a cool man.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, there you go. That's Richard Attenborough.
Okay.
Doesn't really look too much like
no,
Brando.
There he doesn't.
No,
so,
but,
carry on.
Anyhow, no, I just thought I'd bring it to the attention. That's the heart.
That's handsome.
That's
Brando.
Who they wanted to play Gandhi.
Yeah.
But of course, it eventually went to Ben Kingsley, or Sir Ben, as he likes to be called.
Wait, were you telling me that he demands to be called Sir Ben? Is that a thing?
That's actually a thing.
How did you find that out?
I've got a friend who is who's a makeup artist, and she does like films, big films, and she was working with him, and every single time it was Sir Ben, please. And he always not demanded, but requested to be called Sir Ben. And even Dame Maggie Smith, made a nice little joke about it. And she was on Graham Norton.
Yeah.
And that's a talk show in the UK for those that don't know it. And she said, "No, I'm Maggie. I'm Maggie. I'm not Sir Ben."
It is a bit weird. So Ben Kingsley, right? I didn't know he wasn't white.
What?
Like, I mean, I'd seen him in movies, and I guess I'd never really put it together. But he's half Indian, or he's half ethnically Indian. Like, I think it was his dad is like an African Indian, and then his mum's British.
Was that right?
Yeah, but I kind of, well, you're laughing at me like that I didn't know he was white, or because you think he is white?
Well, I'd never thought of
him as anything other than English, right?
I think he's an English actor, white English actor. But
which is right, because I thought it's a bit weird, still, because this article was talking about how they decided to cast Kingsley, and previously all these white actors were considered. I was like, wait, hang on, is Ben Kingsley not white?
He's white. Let's see.
It turns out, yeah, like I say, his dad's African Indian, and he was raised in the UK and everything. So actually, he was like,
Kingsley was born Krishna Pandit Banji.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
So there you go. I thought it was a bit of a weird choice to have him as Gandhi, but now
he's actually the perfect Gandhi.
He's the perfect Gandhi.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Pretty solid, right?
So comes from Indian roots, educated in the UK, moved back to India.
Did he move back to India?
No, he didn't move back to India, but he did for the movie.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Banging film. No, really.
I've never seen it.
I've seen most of it. I would have to go back and watch it.
It was that banging that you skipped the ends.
I watched it when I was younger. It was... don't judge me.
Banging. So that's the Ben.
That's the Ben.
I think we could just call him Ben because he's not here.